of the little fat. It did come off.
Turn the temperature up a little bit. You'll be fine.
Okay,
Dude.
Pressing button.
Bhutan.
And we're live.
And we're live. Welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotal Arguments and or Not, or whatever the hell we're calling it. That's better than Monday Night Football. I am your host, Jay Fry, and with me is Sean. How's it going, Sean? Are we not live?
Sean.
I'm sorry, what?
How's it going?
It's not so good. I got shit happening. Like cats stepping on the freaking mute button.
All right, well, we'll switch over to Garrick. How's it going, Garrick?
And it's going. Still working. I'm tired.
Sean was having pussy problems, so I jumped over to you because you don't have pussy problems. How's your boyfriend doing? You good? How's that dating working out for you?
That's a whole nother class of pussy problems.
Yeah. Pretty sure they're called front holes now.
Yeah.
True. Well, no, front holes doesn't apply to what I'm going for, per se.
Wait. What?
Everybody's got a front hole. What that front hole consists of is up for debate.
Exactly.
Yep.
And how's the cooking going, Josh?
That's going. I'm making some delicious hamburger helper with buffalo.
I would like to point out you're 25 minutes into cooking right now.
Yeah, you said it would take longer to brown the meat. I proved you wrong. Just accept it.
I said it would take 20 minutes. It took 10 minutes, and you still got 10 minutes left. So we're still looking at 35 minutes.
You said to brown the meat. Don't fucking try to weasel out of this.
Have you met me? I try to weasel out everything.
I've noticed.
All weekend, I worked 6 days instead of my normal 3 days. And everything somebody came up to me with this weekend, I blamed on the week shift guy, which was also me. And they don't know that. Hopefully they'll come in and yell at him on the weekdays, and it'll be me. And I'll blame my evil twin brother who likes to blame me for things on the weekend.
What will you call your evil twin brother, though?
Justin.
Okay.
You know what? I think we can solve this Brett Kavanaugh situation right now with the evil twin brother thing.
All he needs to do is grow a goatee and pose for some pictures, and we can make that a reality.
Just a goatee, a couple of dicks in hands. That's all you need. I am right there with Dave Chappelle. I have absolutely become a victim blamer.
Mm-hmm.
Not the what was she wearing victim blamer, but I'm not believing victims at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be very much in support of these things. I worked at First Step, which is a rape counseling center, rape and domestic violence center, where I would do the rapid extraction of people who were in dangerous situations. And now I take the guy aside and be like, hey, did you actually do anything, or is she just fucking running them out? Did she join a college class recently? Maybe started gender studies? Are you okay, sir? It's ridiculous now. It's so bad. They compared Trump to Hitler. I'm wondering about Hitler now.
It's the way these things go.
Yeah, like when you compare Trump to Hitler because they both drank water, you're getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
But has anybody watched Shapiro's defense of Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah. I wasn't impressed.
I ain't about there. There's nothing to defend. From what I understand, the allegation is somebody saw somebody tell somebody else that they saw Brett Kavanaugh have his pants down.
I thought you were gonna go with the Ilhan Omar. Some people did something.
Some people did some things with somebody else's genitalia.
Because
that's even part of it.
Yeah, that's about the gist of it.
Yeah. He didn't even put his dick in somebody else's hand. What the case could be is he was a high school and college jock. Someone pantsed him. He pulled his pants back up. Because that's all that can be clearly described. It was like, I remember him pulling his pants up. So that's either his pants were down a little and he pulled them up, or he got floored and he pulled them up. But somebody else putting his dick in somebody else's hand, there's like one too many hands involved in this scenario for me.
Agreed.
Like you have to have your hand on their hand and your hand on somebody else's dick, and then you have to shake them together.
Well, okay, so the claim is that his buddy grabbed his dick and put it into some other chick's hand. Why are we not running with the angle of why are you gay shaming the gay guy who grabbed Kavanaugh's dick? Because that was the actual sexual assault in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Like, there's a whole proximity issue here. Or it's just perpetually cold where I live, and, way to go, Brett. Like, you'd have to nearly be at somebody's shoulder for this to have, like, anything remotely as true. Like, hands only stretch so far, and penises don't even stretch that far.
Unless he's hung like a mule or something.
Brett John Holmes Kavanaugh.
Pretty much. It's a good thing he has brains, because if he hadn't, he would be out there slaying all the ladies for everybody to watch.
Hey, Luffy. Oh, Steve's got a new doggy. We'll get to see that after the stream. Kavanaugh.
Is it a small toy dog? I'm not going to be surprised if it's not a small toy dog.
He's already got a fucking. Well, he's got a fat Chihuahua. It's a 3-pound Chihuahua and a 5-pound sausage suit. I don't know what's going on there. No, Chihuahua. Kavanaugh wasn't. I mean, it was the '80s, so heartthrobs really aren't the same as heartthrobs today. I mean, thin athlete, popular, so that's kind of got to qualify for like a bunch of the stuff.
I'm gonna have to go kill a child.
I mean,
use pigs to dispose of the remains. They'll eat everything.
I've got this down right now. I'm watching Criminal Minds, so I can guide you through the process.
All right, give me
Do you
2
have
minutes
any?
here.
Do you have any Visqueen and or 17 pigs?
Or perhaps a bathtub of lye.
Do you have a drain with a 3-inch hole? Do you have an underground wood chipper? I'm sorry. I really am enjoying Criminal Minds right now, but I can't fucking stand like learning about their lives outside of the like.
Nobody cares.
I don't care Hutch is getting a divorce. Unless he shoots somebody because he's getting a divorce. I got into an argument on Twitter because...
Qu'est-ce que c'est? No way.
No, it wasn't on Twitter. It was on Facebook. I don't know how I got... it started with Ed Kemper reading... he reads books for the blind. That, it's basically he does audiobooks. Which has got to be weird as fuck because he's a pretty monotone fellow.
Yeah.
But somehow they got talking about him, or he was born within 2 weeks of Ozzy Osbourne. and somebody called Ozzy the Prince of Darkness. I'm like, you can't talk about the Prince of Darkness in the same time you're talking about Ed fucking Kemper.
I mean, you can. It just. I mean.
Like,
not good.
Ozzy's the Prince of Darkness because he tore the head off a bat. Ed Kemper tore the head off his mother. If you're going for badass moves done by fucking guys who paint on mascara to their faces, Ed Kemper wins. He once went to a meeting. It was a parole meeting, and he had the head of a hooker in his trunk in a bowling bag. What's Ozzy done? He thought he was biting a dove? Fuck that guy. Like, I managed a band in school because I wasn't talented enough to be in an actual band. And to haul fucking equipment back and forth for years as like a manager and roadie, there is nothing cool about doing that. But then you're on stage and you're idolized, which is yay fun for those guys. But at the same time, it's pretty freaking ridiculous. Like, you're not the person you pretend to be on stage while you're backstage plugging in and tuning your guitars and instruments. And Ozzy doesn't even play an instrument. That's how into music he is. And it bothered the shit out of me. Like, you're giving credit. They'd be like calling who's that the guy? He's very conservative on the TV show, and he does woodworking. And he's actually a really good woodworker. He's the bacon guy with the mustache.
Ron Swanson. Well,
Ron Swanson. Yeah, that's his character. Very conservative, very like he could kill you with a look kind of. That's his persona. But he's a foofy carpenter. That's what he does. Like, there's a difference between what is reality and what is perception. And people just don't seem to get that. I can't think of the he's a little guy, and he was in World War II, and Audie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
He murdered the fuck out of like 50 people in one go, and is still today known as one of the funnier pre-era I guess it's still comedy comedic actors. But that guy was in a world war, and he handled his shit. And then he went back to Foofy Hollywood, where he was loved and lauded over, which is great for him. Kudos to that. But reality and what you see, two vastly different things. Let's get to topics. What do we have to talk about? Kavanaugh was absolutely ridiculous. I didn't get to see the Shapiro. All I saw was on Beauty and the Beta between Alyssa Milano and Ted Cruz. Did anybody watch it?
Sadly. Looked like it was filmed with a cell phone.
I noticed Melissa wasn't really the one talking. She was just kind of backing up that tubby guy who was making all the points. Who was that?
That was one of the
It's a Parkland dad.
guys yeah.
That was Gutenberg?
I don't know if that's the guy's name or not, but he lost his daughter.
Well, Fred Gutenberg. He confronted Kavanaugh and tried to have a mum with him, and he got
snubbed. Yes, it's the same guy. Same guy.
Oh, he put on weight.
Well, when you're getting those fat SJW checks, you can eat well. Plus, he's got. I mean, I don't want to take away too much. I don't want to give him too much shit because he did lose a kid, which is terrible.
Yeah.
So he's probably consoling his grief with Haagen-Dazs and Krispy
he's
Kreme.
grief eating.
Right.
Man, oh man.
So
we could talk about the AA-12 shit.
What about
it?
I saw the meme, but Are they calling it a assault weapon now?
Yeah, they're calling them machine guns because of the fact that the
Well, they're destructive devices, but they are. Well, okay, so would it be clip fed?
well,
uh,
no. Here's the thing: they're originally designed to operate from the open bolt. Well, a company here in America started to or made a design to where they can operate from the closed bolt. Now the ATF is saying, well, they're too easily reconfigured to operate again from the open bolt, making them too easily modifiable to be full auto. So
All
now
you
they're
need
machine
is a
guns.
coat hanger, and you can make any AR-15, AR-10 an automatic.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean,
What's
aside
too
from
easily
that,
modifiable? That's
any
wishy-washy language.
Right.
it really
Well,
is
that's the
because
problem. That's the door that it's opening up, and that's what scares a lot of us.
every AR pistol can far easier be turned into a short barreled rifle. Like you're literally just screwing and unscrewing things.
Sometimes not
But
even that.
that's what I was gonna say. You don't even need that, dude. You can just pop off the upper and put a short barrel upper on top of a lower with a stock on it, and done.
No. Okay, now that's not easier though.
I'd say it's easier than unscrewing the stock and screwing a new one on.
50
Certainly
bucks
faster.
versus, I mean, you're talking $50 versus like $250.
Okay, well, yeah, you're talking financially. I'm speaking of
I'm saying
physically.
easiest way, buffer and a buying
Well,
a buffer and a stock,
everything's
screwing and
free if you
unscrewing.
find it.
Hell yeah. Speaking of, if anybody happens to know of a commercial buffer that's laying around somewhere that's in brand new condition, I fuck the threads up on one of mine.
I may have one that you can have.
Why not just run
I'll-
a mil-spec tube?
Well, I have to find. I have to make sure which one it is because it rattles. I hate it.
Because it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually do have a mil-spec tube
Well, I have to
with a buffer
grab the old tube
and buffer spring.
Well, I've got the buffer and buffer spring. I just have to find out if it's commercial or mil spec. Which is the angled one?
The only
I can never
difference is
remember
the
which
end of
one's
the
which.
stock. There's no other difference.
I was told there's a little bit of a rattle difference.
Okay, here's the difference. The commercial, I believe, is thicker and is angled on the end, whereas mil-spec is flat and is a little bit thinner.
All right, mil spec is flat. All right, I'll because there has to be a difference. They're sold differently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll find the old buffer tube and I'll see if it's flat or angled.
There you go.
Because right now I've got USR on the back end of my AR, and I'm like, you're expensive and you're heavy.
Yeah.
But I did.
And the reason I have a buffer
up.
tube, Jay, is because I had to put a solid stock on the 450 Bushmaster.
Had to?
Yes.
Ooh, what was going on there?
It broke the stock, the
Oh,
adjustable one.
is that gonna fit? Is it an AR-15 style buffer tube?
Yeah,
Not a 308? Just
that was
kidding.
real late.
All right. So were any points scored either way?
As far as what?
With Cruz and Alyssa Milano?
I haven't watched it. I guess not. I mean, neither side kind of took it as a win. Like there hasn't been any real chatter about it, so I'm assuming that it was just kind of a wet thud for everybody.
Well, I remember watching Shapiro and Shank on the only place I could find it was the Young Turks, and Shapiro mopped the floor with Shank, and everyone watching in the Young Turks were saying how good Shank did.
Right, everybody's already teamed up. They're always, there's very few people in the middle that you're going to sway. But that's where the battle is you're trying to sway as many of those independent, skeptics / centrists / whatever you want to.
You're not after the first or second person. You're after the third, fourth, or fifth person that you can sway.
Yeah.
Down the line that comes up to talk to you.
Reminder to my viewers, when we're talking about centrists, you on the right would look towards the left to see a centrist. When Sean is talking about centrists, he's just looking around him.
Yes.
Because he's a goddamn fence sitter.
And we love him for it.
I lean
Zip
to the right.
libertarian.
I lean to the right.
What's your official policy on foreign affairs?
On foreign affairs, I think we should be reenacting the Monroe Doctrine and keep it to our own hemisphere, and then we need to fix the shit in our own hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind being world police if we were saving lives and making friends. But we are world policing, and we are killing people and making enemies. It's not how you do it.
I firmly believe that if we have to go to war, if we have to be in a wartime environment, we need to go in with the mindset of we are going to win, conquer, and make wherever we are at war the newest state.
There is a good idea. I don't see a problem with helping allies and stuff like that, like Israel or Britain or wherever. But
Say Israel as our ally one more goddamn time, I dare you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, Kevin, calm your tits.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Uh,
I started that shit. Don't give me that.
That was very weird. Your whole thing went. I think you're. Yeah, you roboted really bad.
Oh, I said, don't give me that. I started that shit. Kevin is me 2 years ago with way more $10 donations.
because he has money.
Well, back in your day, you could do it for $1.
True. That's real OG shit. But like I was saying,
I could still do it for $1. I'll donate next Sunday and I'll stick it right.
Americans smoking the shit out of jihadis.
Yeah.
What about smoking jihadis?
I said I just enjoy the idea of Americans going out and smoking jihadis overseas.
Why?
Because they're the
If there
enemy.
was an end
Just
game
as much as
involved,
Russia is the enemy. But we can't really fight Russia outright. Not like these guys.
because Russia really isn't the enemy.
Yeah, I was
exactly.
gonna say.
They are.
If
They're
Russia's
just
good enough for
not
Trump, it's good enough for me. No, current day Russia is not our enemy. Definitely not our friend, but they're not opposed to what we're opposed to. They don't want to be besties because we treat England like our bitch because England
Is our bitch?
Yeah. But Russia, they have very few things that they actually disagree with us on. And like, all right, so in Russia, there is no homosexuality. Homosexuality is a purely capitalist issue that they don't have in their wonderful regimes. And that was the exact same view they had under communism, and it's the same view they have now. Another Chihuahua, Stephen? God damn it.
For fuck's sake.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess if you've got one, you can't just get another dog. Make him nervous or something.
No, they're nervous no matter what.
Yeah,
That's the
they
point.
just
You get
shake.
the bigger dog. It makes it interesting.
Yeah, the Chihuahuas just shake. I don't know why. They just shake.
Yeah.
It's all the pent up rage they have because they could have been a real dog.
Oh, that's funny.
Ooh.
I read a book. It was about werewolves and stuff, and they had
God damn it, Ryan. Really?
yeah. Well, it's got a Chihuahua reference in it, and this they're trying to find a werewolf, and it's an FBI type kind of guy, but he's with the Department of Anomalous Activities, the DOA, and he's cupping basically a Chihuahua. And he sets it down, and the Chihuahua starts going off at somebody. And he's like, you want to get a handle on that thing? And they all pull their guns, because there's a werewolf present. And the guy goes, wait, why a Chihuahua? Why not a German Shepherd? Because German Shepherd would be scared. Chihuahua's too stupid to be scared.
It's true.
I'm like,
Itty bitty brain.
I am still of the idea that Fry is his voice box translator is slowly disintegrating and dying.
can you guys understand me?
No, you're coming
No,
through
sometimes.
fine. It's. I think it's your end, Josh.
Yeah,
Is
something's
it?
up with you, buddy.
Oh wow.
Are you in your
Okay.
kitchen still?
I just went to my kitchen,
Are you
but I was
on
sitting right by
Bluetooth?
my phone. Huh?
My phone cuts out because of the fridge and stuff.
Well, my food is done. I'm just gonna wait for it to sit.
Because
for
it
a little bit.
applies, we'll just do this for a minute. While we get our shit together. Josh, you may need to drop out and come back.
Talking about me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yas, please.
All right. Give me just a minute.
You might
Well,
have to pull a Garrick.
Yeah, like Garrett will have to come back so we can hear Josh in the future.
It's true. It's very true. It's only done it like once or twice.
Yeah, he's been fine for me the whole time, so I don't think
All right.
it's...
I'll drop off real quick and come back.
Okay.
What about everybody in chat? Am I coming in clear or am I coming in broken and or stupid?
Yeah, I'm not live listening to the stream because that really throws my brain for a loop being 30 seconds.
Oh
behind.
god, that is the
right.
worst.
I'm back.
Okay.
That
Can
was
you-
quick.
In that now?
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm good. Fine, good.
To get the right effect, Jay, you really need to hit the mute button on the mic.
I tried that. My mute's not working. It's like someone at the Wayne's World ordering like, I'll have with and a side of no pickles.
So that'll be this, and this.
Yeah,
That'll be this.
that's still
Hold on, please.
funny. Yeah, when they just perfectly come back with the entire order, like
Yeah.
what?
Okay, so to go back to topic, I think one big elephant in the room is that by and large, Russians are far more religious than Americans. I think it's like, 60%, if not less than that, are
And that's a bad thing.
religious.
Russians
they're-
are one of the few.
You know,
They
the
have
Russian
a-
Orthodox thing. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the only ones with a chapel in the Antarctic.
I was about to say that's not necessarily a bad thing, Garrick.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. That's why they're so opposed to having gays, to address that issue. I don't think it's a problem with capitalism. I think it's a problem with a lack of religiosity.
Don't use that word. I fucking hate that word.
I would use it again.
Religiosity?
Religiosity.
Yeah, it's a lack of faith. The word is faith. Okay,
Yeah.
religiosity is some made up, churched up, pseudo academic bullshit.
Church up, really? That we're gonna go with?
And that's what I'm going with. Because if
Alright.
I can't throw in a dad joke, it's not really my own stream.
Is it though? Why am I introducing everybody? I don't honestly.
I think the problem with using the word faith is a bit too broad. It doesn't necessarily apply to religion.
Yeah, but I think you can use religion for certain dogmatic beliefs, such as homosexuality.
Well, you know where else doesn't
right.
have homosexuals? Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
They have a weird
You know what?
transgender problem, though.
They're also fiercely religious.
Yeah, that was a joke, Garrick.
No, actually,
but
it's a very true statement.
Yeah, that too. The reason they don't have homosexuals is because they toss them off the roof.
Man, this Ben Shapiro thing is nothing but bullshit.
Speaking of Ben Shapiro, if you look at the Sunday special from this week, he interviewed Zuby, who is a guy from the UK, who is actually
The music guy,
yeah,
the trans athlete.
yeah, the quote
Quote
unquote
unquote
trans athlete. Yeah, he was on.
Oh, how'd he do?
And he was describing it because he grew up in Saudi Arabia. He's like, well, Saudi Arabia's got a lot of good things going for it. And he listed off a couple of things. And it's one of those things I think that he's not entirely wrong, but he lived in an expat community, which is a little bit different than living in general population.
Well, he did say that L.A. did remind him of home a little bit. So.
It's just because it's a desert. LA is a desert. They forget that a lot, but it's a desert.
You're talking a lot of shit right now, Arizonan.
That's because LA thinks they're better than us, and they're not. They're exactly the goddamn same.
We have the same suffering. We just don't have sea salt in the air.
I'm going to be honest here. I think where I live is 10 times better because, A, we don't have the bubonic plague.
Yeah, but you have tornadoes.
That's what I was getting at.
We do have tornadoes.
All right, well, then where I live is 10 times better.
Because it's not a desert?
It is not a desert. And we don't have the bubonic plague or tornadoes.
Yeah.
And if you try to shit on my mountain, it just rolls downhill.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the Shapiro stuff, like the Ben Shapiro dismisses the allegations, and it's Jessica Valenti running her fucking cock holster. Women, if you're being sexually assaulted, make sure to take a close notice of your attacker's dick because Ben Shapiro wants to know exactly what it looks like. Yeah, so do fucking I. And you know what? Michael Jackson had to have his dick photographed and shown to children in a lineup to see which dick was his, and none of them could pick it out.
It's because
here's
Michael
the hint,
Jackson
kids.
is innocent.
It's half the black one, and the other half the white one. Jessica Valenti, in all seriousness, huh?
There is an actual porn star with a two-tone dick. So
he's got vitiligo?
No, he just has a two-tone dick, and I don't know why. I don't know how that happened.
The fact that you actually know this is disturbing.
Yeah, well, it's one of those weird facts that you can't unlearn once you've learned it.
Is he circumcised and it's like the half that's out?
I have no idea. I just know that that's a thing.
Jessica Valenti continues with, in all seriousness, it doesn't matter how credible you are. Men like this will keep moving the goalposts to protect their own. No. If you tell me...
Shapiro was the one that originally came out saying, believe all women, look at the facts, wait for things to come out, and it took him for fucking ever to fucking denounce her. Blasey Ford, if I remember right. Yeah.
Blasey, yeah.
Her name is indelible in my hippocampus.
I just can't. Okay, so let's. You want to talk about elephants in the room? The entire reason we're even discussing this again is because the New York Times ran an article because 2 of their staff writers have released a book. It is literally marketing. All of this is nothing but marketing.
The Education of Brett Kavanaugh. 0 first-hand eyewitnesses in this book. Guarantee it. It's fire and fury all over again. Danielle Campamore. All right, anyway. She says 3 million women nationwide report their first sexual experience was rape. 3 million women.
1%. Actually,
is it just because they regret it, or is it because it was actual rape?
2%, because
yeah, half of them are guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 2% of the entire population think that their first sexual encounter is rape, or is it only considered that because they regret their decision afterwards?
Well, this is a new study which surveyed women ages 18 to 44. So it's not even just in this specific timeline. It's over the course of a 40-year period. Considering the chances of these 44-year-old women being raped at 5 or 6. All the way up to 44. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro believes they're all liars unless they can give a detailed description of the rapist's penis to apparently Ben Shapiro. Yeah, I would want to know too. It's something that's clearly, if your entire story is a dick got put in your hand and that's your sexual assault scenario in its entirety, describe the fucking dick. If you're that traumatized by that, was it the feel that made you realize it was a dick?
The woman who is this supposedly happened to has come out and repeatedly said, I don't recall any such thing.
Mm-hmm. It's the story somebody else is telling about somebody else.
It's
the closest she'll back up is, I think I remember him pulling up his pants.
This has nothing to do with reality or truth or anything near either of those. This is an entirely one of these situations where you want to believe the negative about somebody you don't like because you have ulterior motives, or you, there's three sides. There's that side. The other side is the people that want facts and reality to rule over everything else. And then there's the side that is always going to say that he's completely innocent of everything because these people have an ulterior motive. Two sides are more right than the third.
And magically, some other blue check mark says, a man shoved out his dick in front of me in public while I was sitting outside with a friend at a coffee shop. I remember his hair color, what he was wearing. I don't remember what his penis looked like, Ben Shapiro, primarily because I was trying not to see it.
Are you saying his dick looked like Ben Shapiro?
If you can't tell me there was a dick present by having seen it, how do you know that's what he was trying to shove at you?
I know guys that used to, as a joke, throw their hand down their pants and stick two fingers out their fly and run around and chase people around with it like it was their schwanz. It wasn't. It was a couple of fingers sticking out of their fly. Is that sexual assault?
Yes.
I have a buddy who would talk about a tumor he had on his stomach. And when people would get grossed out and want to see it, he would lift up his shirt, and it was just, he pulled his dick up above his pant line. And everyone would laugh at it. It was just the back head of his penis.
So it looked like the Anaconda malt liquor scene in Black Dynamite.
No. It was above his pant line. So he was wearing his pants. He was regularly wearing his pants, and he just pulled his penis all the way up so that it was sticking out the top of his pants.
Okay.
So
just the tip is what you're saying.
It was the underside of his tip showing, and it kind of looked like it was a tumor. And I must have laughed at it 10 different times seeing it, and the reaction was hilarious. And I have a magic trick that ends up with a foam penis and balls. And girls would take me from girl to girl to do this trick because it's hilarious. And it's even funnier when it's a guy. Although the guys got a little rough with it, they end up ripping the balls off because they thought it was hilarious. But that is essentially a phallic in the hand scenario, and no one's sweating at it. The person this has happened to allegedly doesn't even remember it happening. This is nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, this entire thing, the whole reason that the world is talking about this is because the New York Times penned an article about it because they needed publicity for their staff writer's book.
Poor Kavanaugh. This is all about that asterisk next to Kavanaugh.
That also might be an ulterior motive, too, is because Katz came out and fucking spilled the beans, so they had to run some sort of damage control to regain the narrative.
Matthew Chapman, another blue check mark, says, does Ben Shapiro think that rape survivors describe their attacker's crotch to a sketch artist? Yes, not to a sketch artist, but they describe as much as they can about their attacker in a lineup, and there have been dick lineups. And 4 of the 5 dicks are usually cop dicks.
I was gonna say, who wants to line up to be the what's the word I'm looking for?
As part of the
Placebo
lineup.
dick. Yeah, the placebo fake dick.
It's
Control dick.
It's other
The
cops.
control dick.
No, it's like they'll show up 5 pictures. 4 of those pictures will be cops, dicks.
So you're
do
saying
it all the
cops are
time.
rolling around with dick pics?
No, like literal Polaroid dick pics. Yeah. And every target for about 20 years, every bad guy in a a target you shoot, police officer. That's why they look so stupid all the time. Like, man, that guy's hair is fucked up. Yeah, that's a wig because that's an actual cop. So he doesn't have the long, scraggly hair. He's got a short, clean-cut appearance, but he's faking it. That's why it looks like it's a fake mustache on that guy, because it is a fake mustache, because that's an actual cop in that target you're shooting. We've got this fucking Saeed again. The demand that women who've been sexually assaulted describe the perpetrator's genitalia as proof of evidence is ridiculous and absolutely out of touch with how assault happens and what trauma can do our minds as well. Are you a writer? Can do our minds as well?
So, while I'm disagreeing with Shapiro here. I mean, he's not 100% wrong, but he's mostly wrong because these other people have a point. A lot of times, an assailant is not going to see their assailant's dick.
Okay, to be fair to Ben Shapiro, this is a case of a dick getting put in a hand, not a rape. To know that a dick got put in your hand, you have to see a dick in your hand.
But, I mean, how much variation or individual characteristics does any given dick have?
Mine has a lot of character.
Mine has a good personality, I'm told.
Like, oh, he winked at me. Oh, he's puking. Let's put him back. Why is he crying? He's just happy to get some attention. Merrick Garland, for some reason, is
bucking for Kavanaugh's job is what he's doing.
Yeah, it's Moscow Mitch meet Merrick Garland. Also, I admire Mitch for his utter shamelessness. Yeah, I'm just checking to see why. Merrick Garland, he still could be the next one. We're replacing. Whenever somebody tests Ruth Bader Ginsburg for a pulse, we'll be replacing her.
You kidding me? They're going to announce her death on like January 3rd.
Yeah.
Just so they can enact the Gore rule.
The Biden rule.
Or is it the Biden rule? The Biden rule.
Yeah.
What's the Gore rule? Because there's a Gore rule too. I don't remember what that one is.
The Gore rule?
Yeah, there's a Gore rule. And I don't remember what that one is.
I'll look it up. Somebody say something witty while I look it up.
I don't know. What happened to the yokels? You guys still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Why are we the yokels?
Well, because you are the yokels. You guys were even going to try to run with that theme and actually create some sort of podcast.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had shit come up.
True.
Called
You
work.
had a big heaping pile of shit come up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I assume it has something to do with hanging chads or something. I'm not getting anything for the Gore rule.
Okay. Well, I'll have to... It's something similar. It's a dumb, esoteric sort of Senate procedural rule that they have that's nonsense if you dare to think it through for half a hot second. Kind of like the Biden rule.
I guess the Biden rule. So
I mean, let's get real. Even though I liked the outcome, kind of. I mean, Merrick Garland isn't a bad choice. He would have been just fine. And whatever. You know what I mean?
This is why we call him a fence sitter, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not like Kavanaugh's running and stopping Roe v. Wade now, is he?
I've got the Biden rule, the Schumer rule, the Third Amendment rule. I've got nothing for.
What's the Schumer rule? Maybe I'm confusing Schumer and Gore.
It's the same thing as the Biden rule. Schumer and Biden were the ones who took a stand for it.
Can we talk about congressional troll Jerry Nadler? And how he's still beating that tiny little impeachment drum that he's got?
Oh, yeah, troll. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what's he doing? I'm like, no. Oh, yeah, he is an actual troll.
Yeah, he's literally a little elf of a man. A little fat elf of a man.
He is the penguin.
Pretty much, yeah. Let's just call him Nadler Cobblepot.
Oswald Nebler. All right, so what's he waddling about these days?
Nothing. He's just beating continuing to beat the impeachment drum. For what reason, I don't know. They're probably going to actually pass articles of impeachment sometime early next year, just so whatever candidate.
Congress.
Yes, Congress. Well, yes, the House will pass it. It's going nowhere in the Senate, but the House will do it simply so that they can say, "You don't want to re-elect an impeached president, do you?" And that's literally all it's going to be. It's an entirely procedural dick move to thumb their noses at everybody in the rest of the country, just so that they can have a talking point when it comes to next year's election.
Garrick, is this you? It is you.
What?
I saw something about should cornbread be sweet, and it said Bayou Burt Gummer. I'm like, is that Garrick? And then I clicked on it, and I'm like, yeah, it was you.
Oh, here's another one. Who is worse for gun rights, Beto O'Rourke or Dan Crenshaw?
Well, Dan.
Because gun rights or gun sales?
Says gun rights.
Gun rights, yeah. It's Dan Crenshaw. Yeah, anything he says is coming from a Republican, and that is far more hurtful than anything guy wanting to be president that will never be president has to say about guns.
Dan Crenshaw got 55% of the vote thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all Beto is doing is actually selling ARs at this point.
The Beto special. Thank you, Palmer. Or who's doing it? Is it Palmetto?
Pretty sure. Palmetto and Anderson are pretty on top of that shit.
Oh, Dog the Bounty Hunter suffered a massive heart attack.
Who did?
Dog, Dwayne Chapman, the bounty hunter.
Yeah, don't care.
Beth died about a month ago, so yeah, he's hurting.
Rick Ocasek died. That's a thing that happened.
Did he?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He was 75. Oh, and Eddie Money died as well.
Yeah, that was sad.
That's unfortunate.
Well, now I know what he did with the second ticket. He gave it to Rick.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Come on, these are quality jokes, folks.
Yep.
No, Dad, they're not. I watched a special on Brad Williams. He's a dwarf, and his dad used to take him golfing ever since he was 2 years old, and he bought him special clubs to use because of his dwarfism. And his dad would take him every weekend to golfing, and he'd have somebody come up and ask him, "What's his handicap?" And he'd say, "Dwarfism, you sick bastard." And that is the type of dad joke Brad Williams grew up on until he started saying it for himself. He was hilarious. He was doing stand up in Barstow or something, and there was a celebrity tournament, and one of the guys dropped out. And they're like, "Brad, can you join our celebrity tournament?" He's like, "Yeah." So Brad goes looking for his cart, And it turns out they thought he was Wee Man. And he's not. It's a completely different dwarf. And he's like, but he's putting with 4 other people who are donating large amounts of money to fucking putt with Wee Man. So he pretends to be Wee Man the whole time. And they're going around to their different stages, and he gets to like the last hole, and it happens to be sponsored by Hooters. And the girl, one of the Hooters girls, goes, "That's not Wee Man. I fucked Wee Man. That's not him." And he's like, whoa, calm down. And then he explains like what happened. Like, I'm just here to raise money for this children's hospital. I didn't know that they thought I was Wee Man. I'm a comedian, Brad Williams. So I'm funny. And she's like, my mistake. Yeah, this is Wee Man. Everyone have a good day. And he gave her $60 just to say it. And they ended up talking later because he thought he was going to have sex with a girl who has sex with midgets. And she's showing him pictures. And it was a friend of his who also wasn't Wee Man, who had sex with the Hooters girl. The moral of the story is she fucks a midget. She'll pretty much fuck any midget. It's the thing.
If you got the opportunity to screw a midget, wouldn't you?
Bucket list, yeah.
So let's not.
As long
we're not aggrandizing or moralizing here. It is just what it is.
As long as she's not aggressive, because I had an aggressive midget come on to me once, and it was absolutely weird. Because she started with, best part about getting a blowjob from a midget is the small hands make your dick look huge. I'm like, you are a scary, scary woman.
Kind of attractive.
No, because she's also a porn star, and I don't.
Was it Bridget the Midget?
It was. Yeah, she was just stripping at the toy chest in Detroit. It was Bridget the Midget, and I don't need to feel like throwing a hot dog down a hallway in a vagina that's on a small person. So, I don't care how huge it looks in your hand. If I'm not feeling your walls, we've got issues. What do we got? What else do we got to talk about here? Anybody give a shit about?
We could talk about the debates that happened last week, which were fucking horrific.
Yeah, I don't really care to talk about those.
Fucking Julio Castro making a goddamn spectacle of himself.
Was he actually standing on an apple box?
I have no idea.
I heard there were pictures of that.
Biden did himself no favors, and I'm almost starting to. I'm almost with Rebecca here. I'm almost starting to feel sorry for the son of a bitch.
I heard Klobuchar said that it was seeming more and more like a game show than a debate, and then Andrew Yang came out with I will give 12 lucky contestants $1,000 a month for 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, how that doesn't run afoul of election, law is beyond me, because I think all of them are basically trying to buy votes. Between, I'll take your guns away, I'll give you $1,000 a month, I'll give you free college, I'll give you free Medicare, all that stuff. I think they're all just trying to buy votes.
Well, yeah.
From stupid people.
From stupid people.
I heard today that something like 240,000 people had signed up at Yang's website.
$1,000 a month for 12. That's 12 new guns.
Whatever.
Yeah, to be honest, it's like 6 new guns.
If you're buying high points, I guess.
No. You could buy a Glock or two.
We had this discussion today. Why would you buy that?
Glocks are fucking awesome, and they're not plastic. You fucking surrender monkey.
What is polymer?
An oil-based. Shut up. Gumbo soup, fight me.
I'm not fighting you. It is a soup. It's so unique that it got its own name. So fuck off.
Cereal soup.
I could still buy it from Progresso. That's still funny. It's a soup company.
Can you get gumbo?
Yeah, you can get like gumbo style. Yeah.
I didn't get chowder.
Gumbo style. Does it actually have a roux in it? That's what separates
Probably
the
not.
rest of the soups from gumbo.
You can't really have a roux in a manufactured soup like that. It's just going to gum up the works.
Yeah.
You just have to heat it up again.
Nah, man, it just literally would just gum everything up, and then when you reheat it, it doesn't really transfer well. Plus, it'd spoil faster.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god! So this guy Austin Peter posts this guy Matt Rogers, who's Politidope, said your little AR-15 isn't going to do shit to protect you from the government, who has tanks and nuclear weapons. That is a pathetic fantasy.
Tell that to the Viet Cong.
Well, they have AKs, but still, you can't claim it's both a weapon of war and not going to do shit against a government that has tanks and nuclear weapons. Like, you get one and or the other. You cannot have both. But yeah, you guys just showed me in a post today that they're changing the definitions again to make it just about anything they can get their hands on.
Yep.
Just how homophobia changed from the fear of gays, because that's what phobia means, to disdain or dislike for gays.
Mm-hmm.
Now, under assault rifles, you can have semi-auto versions, which are not particularly assaulty.
Again, compliance with the law is your own damn fault. Don't do it.
And these are the same people who are tattooing coat hangers to their ankles, because if they can't get an abortion legally, they'll get abortion illegally. But you can't have a legal AR, and there's nothing you can do about it, because there's no black market for guns.
You should start a movement where people get the little modified coat hanger, the drop-in coat hanger tattoos, so that they can say, just as a direct response to those people getting coat hanger tattoos about abortion, you can get the same coat hanger tattoos for fully automatic weapons.
Yeah. Not against it. I just think, I don't know. Yeah, I want a little curly coat hanger that looks kind of like a Y and looks kind of like an O right here. I actually know nothing about the coat hanger drop-in. So I would need I'd need some more information.
All it does is make it so the sear doesn't engage.
That's it. That's all it does.
Mm-hmm. I will say right now, one full auto weapon I would never really want is anything in 22 LR, because it just fires too damn fast.
No, it's fun as hell.
I used to take the Ruger
in full auto.
Just take the Ruger out and have a banana magazine full of like 40. I think it was 40 rounds. Maybe it was 50. I don't even remember because the shit's so ridiculously small. And just see how fast you can pull the trigger.
Dude, you can't pull it fast enough to make it full auto, because full auto is
it's not full auto.
Done.
Yeah, it's not full auto. I'm not saying that, but I mean they're just plinking guns, squirrel guns. So I mean they're just fun.
22 with a binary is fun as hell. I don't know what you're talking about, Garrett.
I know it's fun as hell. The problem is it's too goddamn fast. You'll go through 100 rounds in like no time flat.
They're like a nickel a piece.
No, they're not. Yeah, I had fun with
100 rounds is enjoyable. It's get done.
I had fun with a Gatling gun that you had to wind it on a 22 platform. It was still a $10,000 gun. It's insane. But it was a lot of fun. And because you got to pick the speed of the crank, maybe you could draw it out a little bit.
I will say one thing I do want to shoot is a full auto 50 cal, and I do know a gun shop that has one. The actual.
Yeah, as long as it's mounted.
Yeah, this one's on a tripod.
Can you mount that to a tank and then a bunch?
All right, let's play a little game. You get only one full auto weapon. What is it?
P90.
Of course.
I want a phalanx, please.
Phalanx. What the hell is that?
Naval phalanx gun. Go look it up.
Oh, you want, dude? That's electronically controlled. That's no fun.
Oh, that's the R2D2.
Yes.
Fucker.
I want one
It's
of
a
those.
minigun.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind a micro gun. Just saying. 223 is a lot cheaper than 308.
Hmm.
And 5.7 is very controllable.
It's either that or a Thompson. I've always wanted a Thompson. I don't care how heavy it is. I just want it.
Yeah, I could do definitely something with 45, like a cross,
UMP?
A vector.
UMP?
That'd be a good one.
J. Fry does like the German shit.
Yeah, well, the New York Times is desperately trying to make the case that a certain member of our elite class are out there raping women, while desperately ignoring the case that a certain members of our elite class are out there raping women. Kavanaugh over Epstein.
Well, Kavanaugh hasn't killed himself yet. That's the main difference in their minds.
I don't think Epstein killed himself either, sir.
No,
Yeah.
but the official story is that he did.
Conspiracy theories at their finest.
Is it really a theory when it can be proven?
Yeah, it just happened to be a failure in training. They thought suicide watch meant you watched him commit suicide. I don't think we really have shit to talk about.
I don't either.
I did think it was hilarious about the. All right, so if the hoax hate of the week was that football player that tried to get the insurance money, if he hadn't called in the insurance claim before the police arrest, he wouldn't have done nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with destroying your own property.
There is if you're trying to claim insurance on it.
If you are, but if he hadn't have called it in previously and had planned to do it after the police report, and he hadn't even called in the police report yet, he couldn't have been charged with anything.
Hi, Bunny.
Hey, Mons.
How
Hey,
about
Bunny. Been too long, sweetie.
But like, it just so happens that he did it first. If he would have done it after the police report, because it never even got that far. But if it would have gotten that far, or if it would have, if he hadn't called in first, there would have been no charges. Those are his TVs he was moving somewhere. His one charge would have been that he didn't have a license plate on his vehicle. Unlike that lesbian who burnt down her house with her dogs in it.
bitch?
Yeah.
So by the same token, what Jussie Smollett did wasn't wrong.
No, because he did call the police, but he called the police. Just some random maintenance worker called the police on the football player. It wasn't the football player calling the police saying something happened. Some other person saw it. It's like you breaking into your own house. That's not illegal. Like, you forget your keys inside, You try to break into your own house.
Yeah, but
You
who here has been stopped for the cops for exactly that thing?
I've been stopped by the cops for breaking into my own house.
There you go.
And believe me when I say there's not a lot of cat burglars my size. Very few second story guys of my parameters. And the cops just laughed at me and laughed at me. They wouldn't even lift the window up so I could climb out of my own. But I showed them. I'm like, look, this is the stupidest fucking thing ever. I have a lanyard. Somehow I got caught on the doorknob and swung back in, and the door locked me out. I'm going in to get my keys.
Isn't that how it always goes?
And they made me prove that it was my house. And then they ran me. And they knew it was my house because 2 years earlier they had come to my house to tell me when my mom died that somebody known to me could burglarize my house. So either somebody known to me or somebody randomly could see that the funeral for my mother was being done that week. And presumably, because it's a funeral for a loved one, the house would be empty, and you could feasibly come home to a house having been robbed while you're dealing with the most difficult thing of your fucking life. And they posted somebody there. And the guy they posted was the cop. So he knew I lived there in the past. He was white and I was white. There was no deal about it. I didn't have a fucking Cambridge moment where the cops were racist. They ran me, made sure that I was still allowed to be in that house. I was, and they still didn't hold the window for me when I broke back in. It's just something that happened. But because I don't have a chip on my shoulder, I didn't see it as a problem. Once they realized I was who I claimed to be, they went from being dicks with their hands on their guns to just laughing at a fat guy stuck in a window. The way God intended it.
So from violent dicks to just dicks.
Yeah, exactly. There's no threat of violence after that. They could have at least held the window for me.
You keep saying that.
Yeah, because it fucking chafed, man. Pulling my pants down as I'm trying to slide through a window fucking irked me something fierce. But my neighbor, who's a mega bitch and nosy as fuck, called the cops on me, even though she knew it was me. But I appreciate that. I mean, better you call.
I saw a story this week where some mother shot her daughter who was unexpectedly came back from college or something like that and was in the house, so she shot her. And so the daughter ended up in the hospital, not dead, thank God.
Thank God.
But yeah, so that's a story that happened.
Man, and you don't want anything like that to happen in your entire life. And it did. But unless you happen to be making a sandwich in the middle of the night, there's no reason to shoot somebody who's just in your house.
You funny man.
So if I go visit Josh and I just in his house making myself a sandwich at dark 30 in the morning.
Oh no! You can't make it for yourself. You must make it for him.
Well, no, I'm saying if there's
Otherwise,
not a
you're
knife
stealing as well.
present.
PB&J with the crust cut off.
Triangular pieces, please. I'm saying, unless there's the glint of a knife, I'm gonna escort you off my property. The last thing I want to do is clean your body fluids off of anything I own. I'm already dealing with however you broke into my house, so that's a window or a door frame or a door jamb or whatever it is that you busted in to get in here in the first place. I don't want to have to replace carpet or clean buckshot or out of on any of my walls or have the cops traipsing through my house for...
Serve Pro exists, dude. Just let them handle it.
Yeah, do you have a 3 black eye policy? Because you got to clean up 3 black guys. No one's shooting Bunny. Calm down, Buns. But oh man, my entire CPL class was like, how far in the house do they have to be before you can shoot them? Like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to shoot motherfuckers?
Dave Fry sounds like a goddamn hippie commie.
Well, I mean, kind of, yeah, but I'm more of a gun nut who doesn't want to lose their gun. Yeah, they take that thing for 6, 8, 10 months, even if you did nothing wrong. The gun's still
Not in
loyal.
Oklahoma.
Not in Texas either. They didn't even ballistically test our guns.
Well, my thing is, since I'm using the PS90, which is an NFA item, how does that work?
They take it.
Well, can they legally take it? Because they would technically have to do a transfer.
No, they're not taking it from you.
The firearm has to be in my possession, according to ATF guidelines.
I'm sure the cops have a form.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And they probably go straight to the front of the line for processing.
Mm-hmm. And they used to have you on a list too when you had to sign with the sheriff's department to get one of those NFA items.
Yeah, we send it in and they just throw it away. They don't know what to do with it.
Well, I'm saying when sheriff's departments used to have to sign off on it, they kept records of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's a hell of a thing. I don't know why anybody would want to kill anybody else, personally. I carry one if it's necessary to do something, but I'm hopefully doing it inside like a mall or a school where I don't have to clean up afterwards.
A school.
That's why I carry the
The last several guys that tested that theory didn't work out so well.
88 caliber Magnum shoots through schools. But yeah, they want to shoot a motherfucker so bad. Like every question they had was like, so if he's opening the window and looking in, fake shot, right? No. Detain him if you want, but I'd rather just get him out of the house. But that's just me, apparently. Everybody else wants to shoot a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Do you want to kill somebody?
Not really.
Exactly.
But I will if I have to.
Hey, if you have to, and I completely agree with that. I've shot a dog. I didn't want to shoot a dog, but it was a dog or my nephew, possibly. So yeah, I'll shoot the fucking dog every time, and I love dogs.
I think I would have shot the nephew, not the dog.
Ooh.
I was in it for your own good.
Shoot the hostage.
You won't feel the pain. I've seen so many of those that Asian girl with the hostage taker, and it's just all in the 10 ring of the hostage, and she's happy with herself. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Why is there a 10 ring on the hostage?
Just like Grand Thumb was, he had that deal to where he had the target, and it was Ron Jeremy and a kid, and he shot all the kid.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's hilarious, though.
It was episode of Tom. It was the episode where he did the deal on the Thompson.
Oh, I've got that in my to watch list. Did you see that there was a girl was acquitted for killing her baby? Anybody?
I did not.
Did you see a girl was acquitted for killing her baby? I know there was a story in Sweden of a girl who was able to get the knife from her rapist and stab him and he got 50 months of community service for rape, and she is currently on trial for attempted murder.
Yeah, that's when you know society's got shit backwards.
What do you?
Fucking clown
I'm
world.
glad I got my European traveling out of my system when I was still in high school, because I'm not going back there.
I want to go to Prague, and I want to go to Londonistan at some point as well.
Yeah, London would be nice to go to. I haven't gone to England. I was in Germany. I took Deutsche in high school, which is some bullshit because everyone there wanted to practice their English.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, you're more in tune with PC games. What is Apex Legends?
Apex Legends is a Fortnite competitor.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same genre as PUBG and Fortnite, but you play in teams rather than independently, and your 4-person squad can win the game, and you don't have to worry about killing at least those 3 people. But it's basically a Fortnite clone. It's a little bit better. It plays a little bit better, in my opinion. It's less cartoony and less dumb. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
Young mom who buried
he's
newborn
sorta
in
right.
backyard found not guilty of murder. Washington Post, CNN. I cannot find any source. Cincinnati, here we go. Like, it was all HuffPo and bullshit. I was like, I'm not clicking on that to read this. Baby death trial. Brooke Skylar Richardson was personality disorder. Sexual abuse. Psychologist testifies. Lebanon. When Brooke Skylar Richardson went out to eat with friends, she would surprise them at the end of their meals. Richardson would stack the plates and silverware, grab a napkin, and wipe the table clean. She didn't want the waitress to have any extra work, even though that's the job of the busboy. Her classmates testified on Wednesday, and if food came out wrong, Richardson wouldn't tell anyone. Wipe away tears as her friends left the stand during the trial, second week of the murder trial. Richardson was a cheerleader and popular in school. Teacher at Carlisle High School testified she wasn't just friends with sports stars. At lunch, she often sat with retards, and she didn't want them to sit alone. 20, aggravated murder, involuntary manslaughter, deliberately killing a newborn baby and burying it in the backyard, 2017. Attorney says Richardson had a stillbirth and didn't know what else. Oh, that's... If it's a stillborn, that's not murder. So
where are the parents?
There, apparently, she lived at home.
So they didn't know the daughter was pregnant. Didn't ask where the grandchild was.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Apparently, the dad was diddling her. She had personality disorder from sexual abuse when she was younger. What did she have a breathing baby or not? Because you can tell by the lungs if the baby took one breath.
Okay, so that's enough dead air about a dead
Yeah.
baby.
I'm reading it, and I'm not saying remarkable, denied all allegations. Very lonely, isolated world. Psychologist said attorney hired Richardson developed a disorder because of her upbringing and her biological makeup. Factors psychologist tested Richardson sexually abused when she was 12. Testified order eating disorder. Insecurities with her body. I'm not saying that the baby was born alive.
Okay, I don't understand how Okay, I hear so many stories of girls getting diddled when they're young. Okay, that's disgusting, but it is what it is. Why does that almost always devolve into bodily insecurity? You would think it would go the other way.
Yeah, like Dave Chappelle said. Like, Michael Jackson sucked my dick. It ain't going up from here. Sky's the limit.
I'm disturbed now.
I just
Well, if you got MJ on your dick, you gotta be pretty sexy.
There's a conspiracy it was murder because she sent a text saying her stomach was back to normal. Yeah, but kids text stupid shit all the time. I don't even think that would be. I don't see how that's.
I'm an adult and I text stupid shit all the time.
Yeah.
I just sent a message to a random woman last week saying I wanted to do stuff with her in October. Yeah, it happens. Shit gets conflated when you're busy.
I don't think she was conflated. I don't think she took it the wrong way. It sounded bad, but I don't think she took it the wrong way.
She didn't take it the wrong way. I'm going to do some stuff with it in October. Just you wait and see, guys. 3 weeks.
Speaking of which, isn't it like Matt and Blonde's birthday like now?
That's Blonde's birthday.
Blonde's is on the 26th, and Matt is in October.
Blonde's is on the 19th.
No, pretty sure
Mine?
I have it marked. Let's see. Where is Okay, there's calendar.
The fact that you have their birthdays
Yeah,
marked
because
is
Blonde is on the 26th, and J Fry's on the 28th, and then I'm on the 29th.
Blonde's not a Libra, bro.
Pretty sure, dude.
There's no balance in that white girl. Whose birthdays do I have in my calendar? I got a couple of fuckers in here. Let's see, I got.
Oh, another thing that happened this week is they announced 2 new Saturday Night Live cast members, and because one was a white guy, they had to go dig up some horrible shit that he supposedly said at some point in his life.
It wasn't.
He said the word
Fillion,
chinks.
was it?
Chinks in the armor. For some reason, I have the date that Jojo Rabbit comes out. I don't even know what that is.
What the hell is Jojo Rabbit?
I don't know, but it comes out October 18th.
That's weird.
I have no idea what that is. I got Bunny's birthday in November.
Mm-hmm.
I got Capital One bills, AT&T, GameStop.
And Sean Nathan Fillion wasn't the white guy, was he?
No, it's some guy you've never heard of.
He wouldn't be on live at that age. I got Sean's birthday in March. I've got.
Oh, it's Bunny saying it's a Hitler movie.
Oh,
That's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Got all of Hitler. Where the hell is Josh's birthday?
May 13th.
Oh, okay. I was in March. May. There you are.
So you're much better organized than me. I just remember vaguely when everybody's birthday is, like within a week or two.
Well, I used to keep track of it because I would harass Matt, who would constantly forget to wish me happy birthday on my birthday.
So is his in October?
Matt, yeah, like 2nd of October.
Okay.
So for like a year, like Mikey was on the show for my birthday, wished me a happy birthday. And Matt's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He sent me a message around midnight." And I'm like, "Say happy birthday." And then they switch topics to something else. I'm like, "You motherfucker." I waited till midnight. I'm like, "You didn't wish me a happy birthday." And he messaged me like, "Yes, I did." And then like 10 minutes later, he goes, "Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't." uh, and then for some reason, because it was blonde, you know what? Yeah, her birthday might be that close because both years Mikey was covering 2 years ago and 3 years ago.
And we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since.
He is
Yep.
fucking stalking this fat chick named Amber Lynn.
Yeah, I know, and it's
Seven
kind
of
of
her
it's at the point it's kind of creepy.
Like Mikey, stop, and then Wolfie's in on it now, and like
Yeah.
they're tweeting it, like attacking her. I'm like, where did she touch you? Did she steal a cake of yours? What is going on here, people?
Yeah.
I just saw a post about Amber Lynn bitching about a video about cancer getting taken down because she didn't understand something about it. Who's Nathan Fillion going to be in the Suicide Squad?
That's where I saw him. I knew I saw
Is
something
he going to be
about
Captain Boomerang or something? What?
I was
No,
thinking
no,
the
they've
same
already had a
thing.
Captain Boomerang.
Courtney Jai.
Oh.
Slipknot was totally underutilized.
Is Will Smith going to reprise his role as Deadeye or whatever the guy's name was?
Deadeye, yeah. Possibly. It could be a whole new squad. I mean, it's not like there aren't enough people to go around. I wasn't really a big fan of Harley Quinn.
I like the character of Harley Quinn, but I did not really care for that portrayal.
No. Everybody hated the Joker, too.
Oh well, yeah.
You know
for good
what?
reason.
I'm actually okay with how Jared Leto did as the Joker. Mostly because he was literally a supporting actor.
Yeah.
If Jared Leto had to be the Joker in like the Joaquin Phoenix movie Joker, that would not work.
Funny, he turned the caps lock on and is yelling at you.
Who, me or
Somebody should ban her.
I can't. You gave her a wrench. It's unrelated comb all over again. Okay, Bunny. She's the one in caps lock. I love the Joker. So you love the Joker, or you liked the portrayal of the Joker by Jared Leto? I mean, those are two separate things. I think Nephilim is in defense of Joker.
I don't know that that's necessarily a defense. I mean, it's a good description that doesn't necessarily speak ill nor good of it, however.
Oh, Bunny, I don't care. I don't care at all, Bunny. I was just kidding. Okay, so she enjoyed both the Joker and Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker, so she was yelling at Josh, not Sean.
I don't care.
I mean, in reality, it was absolutely a supporting character, and there are like 6 renditions of the Joker.
Yeah, well, not only that, but Harley Quinn is a supporting actor as well. She's an interesting one that has an interesting backstory that they didn't touch on at all. But outside of that, she's literally just like the #1 Joker's henchman.
She's more than that. I don't think
Not by much, honestly.
I don't think Joker slept with Bob in the original Batman. Bob Gunn.
Yep.
The #1 guy.
You. I'm a #1.
The guy. Yeah.
And I'm like, did Jack Nicholson really mock Jack Palance at this point?
I thought it was brilliant.
The gays and their waste of money.
Yeah, I like Margot Robbie. I think she's A, hot, and B, a fairly talented actress. I just did not care for that portrayal of Harley Quinn.
Don't
Well,
worry, she didn't either. She hated the costume.
I've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, so I can agree with you on her being hot. And I've seen I, Tanya, and I can tell you she is not remotely hot.
She's a reasonably good actress.
Ew, Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern. Didn't he play the Green Lantern?
No, that
Ryan
was
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. But he actually does the voice for the Green Lantern on the DC animated stuff. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
yeah.
So they're not going with the
Oh.
black guy Green Lantern? Which one's Hal Jordan? Hal Jordan's the black guy, right?
No, Hal Jordan's the white guy. That's Ryan Reynolds' character.
What's the black guy's name?
James. Oh, what the fuck is his name? Anyways, Green Lantern isn't in Suicide Squad.
He could be.
I mean,
It's a
sure,
DC. It's a DC property. He could be kind of like a bat. There was Technically, Batman was in the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
so.
like Batman maybe, but not like actual. Okay, whatever. I mean, I guess sure. Hal Jordan was the white guy. No,
It was a John.
No, John Jones was.
That's the Martian
was
Manhunter.
Hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up now.
Black Green Lantern, as opposed to all the other Green Lanterns. John Stewart, that's who it was. Thank you, bud.
John Stewart. You think you'd remember that?
Yeah.
Seeing as there was a John Stewart.
I thought it was James. Well, he's got H. John Stewart.
Oh. They're saying that they could get Idris Elba to play that John Stewart Green Lantern. I mean, like, I'd be down for that.
He's kind of old.
Black don't crack, bro.
Like, oh my God, Shamar Moore says it all the time. Like in his whenever he's on like TMZ or something. I'm like, shut up, feller. And he does, because I'm on season 3 of Criminal Minds, and he's got 10 more seasons in him, and he still looks good. Fucking guy's got a tramp stamp, which you can't talk me out of not being fucking gay, but I'm on guy. I didn't really care for a lot that the Suicide Squad did, like at all. I hated the bad guy. I hated half the bad guys. I enjoyed Will Smith's character.
Yeah.
I liked the Inferno character. He was the only one with an arc. Me.
Yeah.
But you know, they're just doing the same thing. Like Tony Stark is a supporting character, and they made him the first Iron Man. And they ended up basing the entire franchise around him because Incredible Hulk kept doing shit. You know, they did a remake right after making Incredible Hulk, or they had the Hulk, then they had the Incredible Hulk like back to back because they kept shitting it up. Eric Bana, Ed Norton weren't good Hulks. They ended up going with Mark Ruffalo.
Edward Norton was a good Hulk. He was a good Bruce Banner. I don't know what
he was a good Bruce Banner, but yeah, he didn't really translate well for the Hulk. And then Eric Bana had the better Hulk, but the story was so fucking stupid that.
Which one did Nick Nolte? That's the.
that was the Eric Bana one.
Good Lord.
I think.
Let's get Hulk dogs, and they have to have balls. Jeez. That's just ridiculous. Kevin Smith, I'm just...
I like
He's a
Kevin
funny
Smith.
guy. He's a funny guy. He's likable enough, and he does some good stuff. But then he does some absolute shit too, like Tusk and Hoser, whatever the fuck, Yoga Hoser.
Hosers. Yoga Hosers was an interesting movie, and
Bratwurst Settlers. I'll give it a shot.
it's and I actually liked Ralph Garman in that movie. I thought he actually did a pretty decent job. But the movie was nothing but a vehicle for his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter.
Who?
Yoga Hosers. It was a vehicle for
Yeah, the kids were Johnny Depp and
yeah.
Kevin
That
Smith's
was
daughter.
literally the entire purpose of that movie.
But who did you say did a good job?
Ralph Garman.
Who's that?
He played the crazy Nazi guy.
Okay, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't.
He
like.
was also okay. It's just so you know who he is. He's also the guy who played Pirate Bill in Lavalantula, or Pirate Pete, or whatever. I don't remember the pirate guy, and he made the Blue Oyster joke in Lavalantula.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm with you now. I don't like Hollywood and girls that age. It bugs the shit out of me.
Why?
Because it's a movie you can pick people of any age to be in, and you go with post-puberty, pre-adulthood girls.
We're talking about Kevin Smith.
And Johnny Depp's daughter, who are in tight pants with ass shots throughout the entire movie. I don't like it.
Okay. That's a choice that their fathers allowed them to do, number one. Number two, Kevin Smith, his wheelhouse is in that post-pubescent into young adulthood mentality and humor.
Yes, the humor, which is fine, but he did it with Mallrats, who are all early 20s playing teenagers, or mid 20s playing young 20s, or like everyone in Empire Record was like 23 playing 17, and I'm cool with that. But I'm not cool with 17 playing 15.
Well, it was
Or in
17
this
playing
case, 15
17.
playing 14. The same thing with movies like It Follows. Like I just don't like Hollywood and girls together at all.
Okay.
Even Tim Allen, the Last Man Standing, he had the just past puberty daughter. I don't like it. But I like Tim Allen Home Improvements, where it was 3 boys.
So you're
'Cause
sexist.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm not gonna say yeah, but I am not.
See, I'm a little more off put by Hollywood and its fascination with young boys than I am with its fascination with young girls. Because you know they're diddling the boys. And they're probably not diddling the girls because they're all a bunch of lefty SJW types.
They're objectifying the girls, though.
Yeah, well, that's just life.
Like, I have no problem with the most recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre that wasn't Leatherface. They did it like the first 2 Leatherfaces were canon and the rest were bullshit. And they had Alexandria Daddario playing the daughter of somebody from that time, which makes her 40, even though she's like 23 or 24 or whatever. So they fucked with the ages a wee bit. And the whole point of having her shirt torn open for one scene was to see a scar of a amulet that Leatherface would recognize as belonging to his family. And her whole tits out just for that thing. And I'm like, that's brilliant. But I don't think a sexually transmitted demon fucking 16-year-old girls is remotely something that needs to be done. STDs, sexually transmitted demons. Not a fan of it.
Okay. You know, the whole point of horror movies like that is to teach kids to be prude because otherwise they'll get murdered, right?
No, that is the opposite of that movie. It's fuck all you can to get away from that being your fate.
Okay,
Putting off responsibility onto somebody else so that it's not your problem.
Most horror movies, they kill the fornicators.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's how it is. They take out the druggie, the whiner, the useless / invalid / just dirty people. Yeah, I get that. Horror movies are absolutely 100% a conservative movement. No matter, they don't see it that way, but that's what sells. But at the same time, in 1984, you had a pedophile with a fucking finger knives come out. And he became like the anti-hero, and it was absolute bullshit. But nowadays, you can't even find a kid in a horror movie that's likable. They're all awful.
Well, I think... Yeah.
And they make them like oddly sexy, and I don't like it.
Oh, sex sells, dude.
Yeah, Milo. What's the fucking guy's man? Milo Steven knows who it is. Attractive guy named Milo. Just let us answer the question, Steven. He was in Staying Alive, where he played a coder, and their idea of nerding up this attractive guy was 2 days of facial hair and glasses. Like, that's not what a coder looks like, I promise you.
Well, I mean, that's every Hollywood movie. They literally took who was the chick from The Princess Diaries?
Anna.
No, not her. The brunette. She was in. How else was she in? I can see her stupid face.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, yes, her. They took her and made her a goofy 16-year-old, quote-unquote, teenage ugly duckling by frizzing out her hair and putting a pair of glasses and overalls on her. That was supposed to be the frumpy, dumpy 16-year-old when you were looking at her going, no, you're just hot all the time.
Yeah, but they were just taking somebody and toning down their natural appearance.
What do you think they were doing with this Milo guy? Same thing.
Yeah, but she's supposed to have good breeding. She's a queen or whatever the fuck. Milo was supposed to be just a beta tester for computer programs.
Okay, another good one. Miss Congeniality.
They had to take somebody who was relatively hot and just had a personality that didn't match it.
Right. And there's no way that somebody's that hot has that sour of a personality.
They do if they have frizzy hair. A bad perm will ruin your life, my friend.
You speak from experience on this?
I don't have any hair. Fuck off.
See, what Fry doesn't really tell you is his last name is actually Freiberg. So he had a perm.
Rocking the Jew fro.
Yep.
Josh, you got a wrench on this channel?
No. No, I really don't. Nor do I care to have one.
Jesus, Steven. All right. Yeah, I got his last name now, and I can't pronounce it.
Ventimiglia?
Whatever it is. I think I tore that in high school on a football team.
Abdullah Alangada or whatever?
Yeah, I believe it was in my knee.
Medulla oblongata?
I tore my BMG muscle in my leg. Holy shit, are you still eating, dude? It's been an hour and a half.
I've been eating slowly.
He went back for seconds.
This is also my seconds.
And thirds.
No, seconds.
It's not even warm anymore.
He's carb loading, dude. He's got a job now.
No, it's still warm. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I don't like. I watched a movie called Thaw, and it was an hour and a half on global warming propaganda. kind of almost starring Val Kilmer, but he had a minor role in it throughout it. And since then, I've not been able to not see huge amounts of propaganda in TV and movies. Like the few things you won't catch huge amounts of propaganda in are conservative led.
Which has its own version of propaganda. It's just
Yeah,
one you
it's
happen to
pro
agree with.
military, pro family, and it's all propaganda. It's just propaganda I agree with. Jag by Belisario, then NCIS also by Belisario, and then Criminal Minds, which is just a ripoff of a procedural cop show, such as Jag and Criminal Minds and NCIS. Um, CSI, which is another procedural cop show.
Did you watch The Boys?
It's on my list, but I've been stuck with Criminal Minds, and
I had to keep poking and prodding him to get to watch Mindhunters.
And I watched the fuck out of it.
And you did. Aren't you glad?
I need to go finish that up. We stopped somewhere like episode 3 or 4 of the second series.
Oh my god, you gotta get back to it. I also watched Jack Ryan, which was good, and Carnival Row, which was pretty good.
I've heard mixed reviews on that one.
Yeah, Jay Fry will bitch about Carnival Row the entire time.
The flying sucks ass. Their wire work is absolute bullshit. But other than that, it's pretty good. I don't know how anybody could fuck a puck though. It's beyond me. Fucking thing's got horns, can poke your eye out when it kisses your neck. I don't know why you would do that.
Fry.
Pixies.
It's
Dick the Pixies. That's how that works.
Imaginary.
Pretty sure that's an album they put out, wasn't it?
I said Tor. I tore my Phantom of the Geiga. My front hole, apparently, is what that is. Carnival Row is I hate flashbacks. I can't stand flashbacks in TV shows and movies. But Carnival Row did a flashback the right way. The entire episode was a flashback. And I can appreciate that because it's all taking place at the same time and it's not interrupting a story. What's your problem, Bunny?
Hugh, Her problem is Howie.
Howie, do the dishes. God damn it.
Howie's not listening. He's playing Apex Legends.
Oh, fair enough. Maybe she's not listening to her headphones and he heard me. And now he has to go do the dishes.
You're going to make his team lose.
Be right back, guys. Gotta do the dishes.
Well, we're waiting. Worse than Reno was?
Wait, what about Reno 911?
She's saying that where she lives now is almost starting to blackpill her, and I'm like, that was the problem with Reno, wasn't it?
Reno was awful.
It was just awful.
Good.
But, you know, what's funny is that entire cast that was in Reno 911 did something beforehand called The State, and it was hilarious.
Well, Reno 911 was fucking hilarious.
You know what's not funny? The Goldbergs. Fuck that blonde bitch. And whatever that black chick does is also not funny. Pretty much all women are not funny.
The best skit in the entire thing is with Dangle when he goes boot shopping in Reno 911.
I liked his bike always getting fucked with.
He comes out of the boot store and the bike is like the whole pole is like through the middle of it. He's like, how did they? He's just trying to figure it out how the fuck they did it. But the best part, he's when he comes out of the boot store with those ugly ass ostrich boots or whatever the fuck they are. He's like, yeah, only 3 payments of $79.99. Nah, I'm just boot goofing.
I was murdered. It was. I enjoyed reading 911 on occasion. Some of it was stupid, but some of it was hilarious.
Yeah, there was a lot of funny stuff. They had Jeff Foxworthy as like as a bandit character from like Smokey and the Bandit. He drove a Trans Am around.
That's ridiculous.
It was funny as hell, actually.
I don't remember that episode.
Huh?
I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, you gotta look it up.
Oh. New boots goofing.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his shorts, man.
Them shorts, man.
He's in one of the funniest skits I've ever seen.
I thought you would have gone with that black guy, Yarbrough, being one of the funniest skits you've ever seen.
Have you all seen $240 worth of pudding?
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. That was the guy from Reno 911.
Mm-hmm.
Urban culture in Louisiana.
Should we tell her?
Go ahead.
You're not urban? Nor are you in an urban area? Even if you are deep in the heart of New Orleans, that is not an urban area?
I don't know. Shreveport's pretty ghetto.
Ghetto and urban. 2 different words. Urban is a location. Ghetto is in the heart.
And mind.
Ghetto's in the heart.
That is a reference that poor young Garrick here is too young to understand.
Yeah, well, we'll explain it to him when he wakes up.
Oh, is he asleep?
He hasn't said anything in like an hour.
He stopped paying attention. He's on Apex.
I'm
right
probably
now.
about to head off of here because I've got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, well, I hope you don't get cramps in your sleep. You're supposed to wait a half hour for you. Oh, you don't have a waterbed. Never mind. You're fine.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm not going swimming, Fry. And like I said, I took a nap beforehand, so I wouldn't fall asleep this time.
I was shocked you were up as late as you were last night.
I was as well.
The hell, I got like an 11:15 message, like hangout, and like no one responded until I was like 11:30. I'm like, Mary.
Yeah, you're like, meh.
If anybody else was up for it, you can call me, motherfucker. I'm not
I
Sean.
can't
I
call
gave
you.
out my phone number.
Yeah, I know. Sean's a dick. You're not.
I'm gonna get his address. I'm gonna start snail mailing him.
Look, I'm going to be sending you something, so you're going to have it.
Totally gonna be sending you stuff back. Gonna start subscribing to a newspaper so I can get headlines. Gonna write out a sentence and eventually cut out the headlines until I get the whole I'm just gonna glue it to a piece of paper and send it back to you. Speaking of which, what was the headline I saw the other day? It was so good.
Bunny, your
Some head
solution is to
coach-
move to the country.
Yeah. What?
She's already sort of in the country. She just needs to get out of the area and buy a farm. You and Howie need to buy a farm. Is what I'm saying.
I won't even do the dishes. That's not going to help her with the farm. All right, let's move on to off hours. We can get Bunny in here, and Steven can show us his new fucking dog. And oh, I think Josh just got subscribed to Cat Facts as well. He gave Garrick his email address. And if Garrick didn't do it, I will. Like, dude, why would it have been me? I've had your email address for years.
Yeah. I wonder why.
That's too late. And if I would have had a Josh or Sean's cell phone number, I would have texted him to not say anything when you came back. like Josh is logging off and logging back on. Don't say anything. I know we're live. 2 minutes of silence won't hurt anybody. It'll be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Send.
Yeah. Doesn't like it's you act as though Twitter doesn't have DMs.
Yeah, too bad that's not actually my
I don't have Twitter on my goddamn phone.
login. Nor do you know my password.
What?
Were you trying to talk about logging onto my Twitter?
No.
Oh.
No,
What
when
the
you dropped
shit?
off, he was gonna text me and say, "Hey, everybody, just be quiet when he comes back, and he'll think it's not working."
But that was really... I got back on the thing really quick, and it spoiled the fun.
Yeah, but it took you a minute to log off, so I still would have got it.
No.
Anyway, enough of the hypotheticals. You're going to bed. We're going into off hours chat.
Yep.
And we're going to play Sounders to wake up Garrick for funsies. So whoever is joining off hours chat will be in for one heck of a funny...
Yep.
I almost sent the thing.
All right.
All right.
Night,
Anybody say
everybody.
anything before I hit the button?
Look, it's vitally important. If you get sexually assaulted, take a look at the penis.
Take a photograph.
It'll
last
last longer.
Everybody's got a phone now. Just take a picture.
Jinx. Take care, everybody.
Night.
Bye.